Hello friends, I am Ashish and in this video we are going to do a lot of things. We are going to make our character jump and slide and be constrained in the lanes. So we are going to have three lanes, a left, a middle one and a right one. So to do that, firstly we are going to make another two states in our animator, one for jumping and one for sliding. So I'll just name accordingly. I'll make this state jump and make this state slide, and I'll just uh, make a transition from jump to run, from slide to run, from any state to jump and any state to slide. Why I did that? Because jumping can happen from any state, and after jump we need to get back to run as well as for slide. So I already created two boolean parameters which you can create also by clicking on this plus icon and then click on boolean. So you bool variable is basically a true or false variable, so we need to set this transition to have this condition of jumping to be true, and similarly the sliding to be true for this transition, and we don't need any condition for these two transitions. So but we haven't selected our motion yet, so firstly we have to do that. So sprint slide, this is the animation of sliding, so I'm going to select this one for sliding, and I'm going to select jumping animation also, this one. If you see, this is the jump animation. So select on the jump state and then click on drag this animation clip into this motion field. So now we are good to go in the animator window, but we need to trigger this animations by how actually we are making these animations start is by changing this parameters value, and we need to change these parameter values on user inputs. So if a user presses on arrow key up, then the jumping parameter should be set to true, and that will set this transition to occur, and that transition will occur, and then it will get back to run, and similarly for the slide. So to see what the user has input, we need to have a script. So I created a C# script, character movement script, and in that it's currently right now empty. Firstly we need a animator reference. So to have the animator reference, I have created a private animator object, and inside there might be a void start and update function in yours. When you first create a C# script, uh, Unity provides start and empty update methods by default when you create a new script. So yeah, we have this start. uh, we'll get back to this afterwards uh, for the lanes, but right now we have a animator object to have the game object get component animator. So what it does is, firstly we need to have a character have this script attached to himself, which I have already did. So I'll just remove it so that it doesn't so that the script is not added twice. So yeah, we have a script attached to our character. So this script now is watching this game object character. So since this script is added to the same character which is also having this animator, when we write a get component animator, it knows that it is looking here and it just takes this animator object, and we can access its all the states and parameters and change them as you want. So inside the update method, we are looking for an up arrow or a down arrow. If we see those, we set the boolean variable jumping to be true or the sliding to be true, and then we call the stop jumping and the stop sliding so that the animations doesn't repeat themselves. Okay, so we have our stop jumping and stop sliding methods in here. I'm just going to copy them and paste them. So right now this should run. Our jumping and sliding should occur. If I press down, the player is sliding, and if I press up, the player is jumping. It looks a little weird because the player is not moving in a straight path, and the camera is attached to character. Yeah, but we'll just fix that. Firstly, we need to make the character move constraint. We need to make him move in just 3 lanes. So to do that, I have created a lane variable that's an integer. So we have this lane set to 0 in our start method. Now we need to look if the okay, we get back in our update method, and yeah, what we do is firstly see what the new what the current transforms position of the character is, because the script is attached to the character. The transform dot position is returns this transforms position. So this is a vector 3 0 comma 2 comma minus 2 when sorry, this is for the camera, this is for the character. So if this script is running for the first time, then it will show 0 0 0. If the character has moved say like till here, then it will return a vector 3 with x y and z equals to these values. Sorry, I changed that. So yeah, our character is at now origin, and yeah, so the transform dot position gives the transform position where the script is attached. So yeah, this is basically giving the player's current location, and the update method is called every frame. So every frame this transform dot position is returning this into this new position vector 3. Now what we need to do is, if the lane whatever the lane is, we need to set the new position dot x is equals to lane. Now what we need to do is transform dot position is equals to new position. Now I'm just commenting this out. I was just trying out something. Now just see if this works. So yeah, you can see that the character is actually rotating somehow, because you can see its value, but you can see that the position is trying to increase the x coordinate. Basically it is increasing and then again decreasing, again increasing and then decreasing. And why is that so? Because the animation is not very smooth. The running animation, it's not perfectly in a clear single line. So when we the single clip of the animation of the running makes him go in a tilted way. So and also rotate a little bit. So that's why our player keeps on rotating and go on a circular path, kind of circular. So right now what I have done is constrain him to move in whatever the lane he was. Now if I just change that lane to something else, it will just set its current x coordinate to that position. So if I just change this lane to from 0 to -1 or 1, it will just change the lanes. So you'll just have to look for, sorry, I just cut that, I need to copy it. Okay, I'll just see if I have pressed the left arrow, and then we need to do just lane. Okay, we cannot do that. Okay, we'll just do lane minus minus if the lane is okay. When we need to do the lane minus minus, if the lane is greater than -1, is what we don't want it to happen when the lane is actually equals to -1. If it is equals to -1 and then we press left arrow, we don't want to go much uh, further in the negative x direction. We just need to constrain in 3 lanes. So what I'm going to do next is just copy this one and paste it again. I'll just do this right arrow and I'll just change this to less than +1 and plus plus. I'll just save it and I'll just run it again, and now it should switch lanes. So you can see that the player is switching its lane, but you cannot see in the game window. So if you want to have that uh, view, I'll just increase my lane a little bit and I'll just shift it ahead and I'll just play it again so that we can see that the player is actually switching lanes. We cannot actually see this again in this game window very much. To do that, firstly we need to uh, stop a player from rotating. It's just rotating too much, don't want that also. Okay, if I run this, maybe we can have a better feeling that the player is actually switching lanes, but it is also rotating. So what we can do is we'll just set transform dot rotate, and if you are not sure which method to use, you can just write in rotate, and mono develop gives you options to see the methods available. uh, so you can see out of this six, there are 6 options. So we are going to use this one, vector 3 and float angle. So vector 3 dot up, I guess, yeah. So vector 3 dot up basically means the y-axis, and we're going to set this to 0. So we are actually doing a rotation about y-axis to 0 each after each frame. So okay, I've got some. Okay, so error is, I guess, this should be a floating point value. Okay, let it compile. Yeah, and error is gone. So that's a foolish mistake, but a mistake. So the player is still rotating, but you can see that the player is switching the lanes. And actually the better way to do it is uh, using the animation tab in the run impulse. I'll go into the run impulse and I'll just selected the bake into pose in the transform Y position and rotation. So this is what makes it uh, not rotate around while running. So if I just play right now, the player runs in a straight line. You can see in the scene window, and I can switch the lanes, and the player is just running, and I just can uh, play the running and the sliding animations as well. So thank you guys for watching. Have a nice day.